Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I focus on everything luxury beauty and fashion. If you're interested in the latest fashion and beauty trends as well as luxury vlogs, then you are in the right place. Today we're going to talk about the newly launched bronzer and luminizer that was launched by Dior. These products sold out in days on the Dior website. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about whether they are worth the hype and whether you should try to chase them down in different department stores or not. So we're going to talk about their price points, the packaging, the special embossing, as well as the actual products, the shade range, and the product performance. At the end of this video, I'm also going to talk about a makeup look that I've done. And as a spoiler alert, I use the pink bronzer on the left hand side of my face. I use the pink color in the middle in the center of my lid. Similarly, on this side of my face, I used the orange color in the center of my lid, and I mixed all the color together as a bronzer. I also used the newly launched Luminizer as a highlighter on top of my cheekbone. If that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you continue watching. For those of you that are new to this channel, hello and welcome. On this channel, we talk a lot about the newly launched beauty and fashion products. And from time to time, I would also take you guys shopping with me at luxury boutiques. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button to join the fam. And without any further ado, let's get into today's video. So let's start by talking about the price points of those products. So the bronzers as well as the luminizer retail for $77 Canadian dollars, which is about 10% more than the permanent collection that's also newly reformulated this year. In the US, they retail for $55 US, which is about 5% more than the permanent collection. And in terms of shade ranges, there are two bronzers that were launched as part of this Riviera collection, and there is only one luminizer that was launched as part of this collection. There are also some new lip oils, which I'm going to swatch for you guys in a bit. I have to say I was a little bit surprised that the bronzers as well as the luminizer got sold out so fast, because I do think the bronzers are quite similar compared to the previous year's collections, except for the embossing. It could also be that people are really attracted to this year's cover design, which is the first time that Dior is using this tiger print, which is a very signature print that they like to use in the fashion department. You see this print a lot, especially in the blue color on their very famous Dior book tote. So that could be one of the reasons why this collection got so popular. That leads into the topic of packaging. So I do think it's really nice, like what they did on the cover over here. Although I have to say, if you compare this to the holiday collection, I personally prefer the packaging of the holiday collection just because there's a lot more details on the cover. And then there's also like the gold part where the logo is printed that's raised from the surface, so it gives you that three-dimensional effect, whereas this product is more like two-dimensional. It's basically just a print. There's no raised surface compared to what you can see from the holiday collection. So from that perspective, I am a little bit underwhelmed by the cover. And I also want to note that the material of this cover is made of canvas, and the color is quite light. So you do have to be a little bit careful when you're using this product, because if you do get some stains on it, I would imagine that it's going to be quite difficult to remove. Now inside of the palette, the embossing is very similar to the eyeshadow palettes that I reviewed very recently. So it features the same tiger print, except that in the middle you have the Christian Dior logo, which is slightly raised from the surface with gold overspray, which will pretty much be gone after you use it for a few times. Without the embossing, this palette looks very similar in my opinion compared to last year's summer collection. So I was actually quite surprised that this palette sold out so quickly. I was expecting that the eyeshadow palettes were going to sell out faster than these ones, so I'm not really sure what's going on. If you have a little bit more information on that, please leave a comment down below. It could be that the price points of these products are slightly lower than the eyeshadow palette, and that's why they got sold out faster, because they are a little bit more accessible. But looking at the product itself, I would actually say that I'm a little bit underwhelmed by it, to be entirely honest. And in terms of the shade and the finish, the pink and the coral palettes are actually quite similar. If you look at my swatches, and compared to the permanent collection, I have to say these shades are quite deep and warm. And I mean, that's expected because they are supposed to be summer bronzers, and a lot of people want a really tan look with those palettes, so I can understand why they picked those colors. However, I personally prefer cooler tone bronzers, so these are not really my favorite shades, but I can see a lot of people would like it. Now, in terms of the luminizer, I have to say the swatch is a lot more pink compared to the name of the palette, which is Coral Glow. I do really enjoy the luminizer because it's a duochrome with a little bit of a gold shift, and I think it looks very beautiful and natural on the skin. So I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised by the luminizer. I have to say, when I first saw it, my first instinct was it looks very similar to the pink strobe luminizer that I just purchased from the reformulated permanent collection highlighters. Let me show you guys the swatch comparison between the two. I think the pink strobe from the permanent collection is slightly more metallic compared to this limited edition luminizer. And this limited edition luminizer has a little bit more of a glittery finish, which I think will look very nice in the center of the lid, which is what I'm going to do in my makeup look. So now let's talk about the makeup look that I have done. As mentioned earlier, I used the pink bronzer on the left hand side of my face, and I used the coral bronzer on the right hand side of my face. In terms of base products, I used the Dior Forever Skin Glow in color 0N, and then I used the Dior Forever Skin Correct as a concealer, also in the color 0N. And after that, I went in to the pink bronzer, and I used the bronzing color to outline my outer V. And then I used the pink color in the middle, in the center of my lid, as a base color. And I did the same thing on the right hand side of my face. The bronzed color is pretty much the same, so it has the same effect, and the color is pretty matte, so I think they look really good as a outer V color to deepen your crease. And then I used the orange color in the middle, in the center of my lid. Between the pink and the orange color, I have to say, I think the orange color is slightly more pigmented than the pink color. Although unless you look at them really close up, it's difficult to see the difference in shades. After that, I used the new limited edition luminizer in the center of my lid. I think this color is very, very beautiful with the duochrome and the gold shift. It looked really good in the center of the lid. And then I used the bronzing color under my lower lash to create more of a consistent look. After that, I mixed all the colors together in the pink bronzer and then applied that, underneath my cheekbone. And I did the same thing on the right hand side of my face. I mixed all the colors together to create a very uniform color on the under my cheekbone. And as mentioned, these two colors pretty much look identical. It's very difficult to see the difference because the pink and the orange are quite subtle, and the two colors, don't have a very big difference. After that, I used the luminizer as a highlighter on top of my cheekbone. I think this is a beautiful color and it's very sophisticated with the duochrome shift. So I think it's perfect for the summertime. Now, because this is intended to be a summer glow type of no makeup look, so I didn't want to apply very pigmented lipsticks to go with the eye look. So I basically used a newly launched pink lip oil on my lips, which I think is very, very beautiful. I also considered purchasing the green and the yellow color, and I did some swatches in the store for you guys. Those two colors basically showed up as transparent colors on my arm. So I still went with the pink color because I do want a little bit of pink on my lips. But I think, if you're looking for a lip color topper, these two could be pretty good choices as well. Now let's talk about my final thoughts. So I would say if you have budget only for one of them, I would recommend the Luminizer because I think the finish is very special. It has a very sophisticated duochrome finish, which looks very nice as a cheekbone highlight as well as a center of the lid highlight. So I can see this product being very versatile. And this color is quite different from all the permanent collection luminizers. So I do recommend the Luminizer if you have to pick one out of the 3 face palettes. Between the 2 bronzers, I would say they pretty much have the same finish. So if you have to pick one, I'm personally indifferent between the 2. And if you do own the bronzer from last summer's collection, I don't really see the point of buying another bronzer that's pretty much the same except for the embossing and the cover, unless you really love this cover. But if you never purchased any bronzers from Dior before, I think this is a good opportunity for you to collect one because this bronzer does have very nice couture packaging that's limited edition. So I would say if you are a first-time Dior bronzer customer, this is a good purchase. And that's all for today, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed today's review. If you have any further questions, please leave a comment down below and I will try my best to answer your questions. And as mentioned, I have a lot of interesting content coming up. As an example, I'm going to do a Mother's Day gift guide to help you understand what are some of the beauty gift sets that are worth considering when it comes to purchasing your Mother's Day presents. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your help in terms of helping me to grow my channel and bring all the beauty and fashion lovers together in one community. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.